welcome to Mr. Theorem. Today we will learn a nice approach to solve this limit problem. Let's start. Limit x tends to e logarithm of x minus 1 divided by x minus e. This is our question. We have to solve this question and find the limiting value. If you are benefited from my previous videos, from this video, if you learn some new tricks for mathematics for this chapter limit, then obviously like the video, share to your math lover friends. Don't forget to subscribe this channel and stay tuned for the further uploads by pressing the bell icon. Now, without wasting time, let's get started. So this is our question. First of all, we will solve this by two distinct methods. The first method will be limit x tends to e log of x minus log of e. 1 can be written as log of e, since log of e to the base e is equals to 1. So this is a calculus based question, so we don't mention precisely the base e, but it is invisibly there. So it is log e equals to 1. Now divided by x minus e. Now here limit x tends to e log of x divided by e, because we know that logarithm says log a minus log b is equals to log of a divided by b. So thus it is log of x divided by e divided by x minus e. Now we will manage this numerator part inside logarithm, that is 1 plus x to the x divided by e minus 1, and it is x minus e. Now we have managed this by 1 and minus 1. Now why we have done this? Let's explain here. We will understand that logarithm of 1 plus x divided by e minus 1. So this is the term inside bracket will act as x, since we know the formula, that is log of 1 plus x divided by x under limit x tends to 0 will provide 1. This is the limit formula based on logarithm. So we have just managed this to form the frame. Now in the denominator it is x minus e, so we will divide the denominator by e, and to manage that multiply that by e. Limit x tends to e logarithm of 1 plus x by e minus 1 divided by, now divide this term x by e minus e by e, that is 1, and e will be placed here, that is 1 by e. Now 1 by e is constant, so it will be in front of logarithm, that is limit in front of limit, limit x tends to e log of 1 plus x by e minus 1 divided by x by e minus 1. Now we know that x tends to e from the question, then easily we can write x divided by e tends to 1 and x divided by e minus 1 tends to 0. So here 1 by e into limit, we can substitute x tends to e using x divided by e minus 1 tends to 0, and then logarithm of 1 plus x divided by e minus 1 divided by x divided by e minus 1. So here the base, the denominator and the part except 1 in the logarithm are same. So according to logarithmic property it is 1, since this is the formula. So 1 by e into 1, that will be 1 by e. This is the answer of the given question. Now we will explain the second method, that is how to solve it in another way. So first, limit x tends to e log of x minus 1 divided by x minus e. Now let x minus e as h, so x will be equals to h plus e. Here we know that x tends to e, that is x minus e tends to 0, and we have assumed x minus e as h, so it will be h tends to 0. So x tends to e implies that h tends to 0, so we will put it here, limit h tends to 0, logarithm of x will be substituted with e plus h minus 1 will be substituted with logarithm of e divided by x minus e divided by h, that is x minus e equals to h. So here limit h tends to 0, logarithm of e plus h divided by e, that is the subtraction formula in logarithm. Now is limit h tends to 0, log of e by e1 plus h by e divided by h can be written as h by e into e. So here also 1 by e will be in the front side of limit, that is limit h tends to 0, log of 1 plus h by e divided by h by e, and here h tends to 0 is obviously implies that h by e tends to 0, so it is 1 by e into limit h by e tends to 0, log of 1 plus h by e divided by h by e. So this part and this part are equal, so according to the previous formula it will be 1. So 1 by e into 1 is 1 by e. Thus this is the second method. You can solve this given question easily. I think it's crystal clear to you. Now if you have any queries, then comment below. I will explain it in my further videos. Stay tuned for the further uploads. Thank you. Goodbye. Welcome to Math Marvel SMR. Today we are going to learn